Newsx and I'm Megha Sharma. There's some breaking news coming in. As per sources, the Karnataka Chief Minister has designated D.K. Shivakumar will be meeting the party high command tomorrow morning now. D.K. Shivakumar and other leaders are going to be meeting the party high command and discussing the cabinet berths and then let the party high command know about the same. Anand Singh on the telecast with me. Anand, what may have been the reason for the postponement of the meeting that was scheduled to be held today to tomorrow?
Yeah, Megha, look, even as leader of opposition on the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi today is the day traveled to Rajasthan to address some little season programs over there. So clearly, due to bad weather, his flight got delayed for Delhi and he was about to reach Delhi earlier at 5 p.m. but his flight landed on Delhi around 6:30 p.m. So this is what the Congress sources have indicated, and now the party leaders have said that there is a meeting between D.K. Shivakumar, the CM designate for Karnataka, and also Siddaramaiah, the acting chief minister of the state. They all will be meeting with the party high command, that includes Mallikarjun Kharge as well as Rahul Gandhi tomorrow in the morning. However, the timing is yet to be announced at what time this meeting will happen. As all the leaders have arrived in the national capital earlier in the day with the names of the cabinet minister, and the sources have indicated that during the meeting tomorrow, that is all set to happen with the party high command, the list of the names of the Raj Sabha candidates as well as the MLC election will be decided, along with the name of the cabinet ministers who will be taking votes beside D.K. Shivakumar.
Thanks, Anand, for giving us those updates. Millions of students are expected to justify every answer they write in an examination hall. Yet, when students began asking questions about CBSE's own tender process, they found remarkably few explanations. Weeks after a student-led audit of the board's on-screen marking contract triggered a national controversy, the questions have only multiplied while the answers remain scarce. For many students, the board examination cycle ends when the results are declared. This year, it did not. Instead, what began as concerns over the answer sheets and the newly introduced on-screen marking system has now snowballed into one of the most unusual accountability debates Indian education system has witnessed in recent years. At the center of it sits the Co-Amt Edutech, the Hyderabad-based company awarded CBSE's digital evaluation contract, and a growing list of questions about how that contract was awarded in the first place, especially when it was rejected once and then accepted after rules were changed. Now, while the centre is moving to penalize Co-Amt Edutech, will that be enough? And what accountability needs to be fixed with Co-Amt? When our reporter went to the head office of Co-Amt, we were told that the bosses had been missing for a week. Listen into what happened.
అవునే మీ బాస్ గిట్ ఏమన్నా వచ్చిండా ఈ మధ్యలో
చూడండి సంబంధం ఉండదు వీళ్ళతో క్లారిఫై ఉంటేనే వాళ్ళు ఇంటిమేషన్ ఇస్తారు లేకపోతే ఇవ్వరు ఏం లేదు వాళ్ళు ఇయ్యారు మీరు ఎవరు ఏంది అని డీటెయిల్ లేదు వాళ్ళు ఇవ్వరు
అదే అంటే మేము మీడియా వాళ్ళమే కదా
మీడియా కరెక్ట్
ఐడెంటిటీ కార్డు
అడుగుతుంది కదా కార్డు అడుగుతుంది కదా
ఐడెంటిటీ కార్డు అయితే ఉండదు
మనకు సంబంధం లేదు మీ సార్తో మాట్లాడు ఇప్పటిదాకా వచ్చినంతో మాట్లాడు నాకేం సంబంధం సెక్యూరిటీకి నాకు సంబంధం లేదు మీకు ఏమైనా ఐడి కార్డ్స్ ఉంటే నాకు ఇచ్చుకోమనే ఇస్తాను మీరు ఎవరితో మాట్లాడమంటారు చెప్పి వాళ్ళతో వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడతారు మీకు విజిటింగ్ కార్డ్స్ ఏమైనా ఇచ్చుకోమని మీకు చెప్పింది కదా మళ్ళీ అదే వేయండి నాయన మీకు చెప్పినాక నువ్వు ఏం చేస్తున్నావు బాబా
అదైతే కరెక్ట్ ఇక మళ్ళీ నీ మీదకి వస్తుంది
మాకు అట్లా అలవలేదు మేము చిన్న వాళ్ళకే చెప్తాం
రాజు సార్ మెయిన్ సార్
వాళ్ళే లెవెల్ ఉన్నాడు వాళ్ళకి ఇప్పుడు అలవలేదు వాళ్ళు ఏంది కదా వీళ్ళకి అనుకున్నాకనే వాళ్ళకి ఎటు పోతుంది వాళ్ళు చూసుకుంటారు మీరు విజిటింగ్ కార్డు ఆయన చూసుకొని ఆయన మాట్లాడుకుంటారు వాళ్ళు రారు ఫోన్ల నుంచే మాట్లాడుకుంటారు
అవునే మీ బాస్ గిట్ ఏమన్నా వచ్చిండా ఈ మధ్యలో
చూడండి సంబంధం ఉండదు వీళ్ళతో క్లారిఫై ఉంటేనే వాళ్ళు ఇంటిమేషన్ ఇస్తారు లేకపోతే ఇవ్వరు ఏం లేదు వాళ్ళు ఇయ్యారు మీరు ఎవరు ఏంది అని డీటెయిల్ లేదు వాళ్ళు ఇవ్వరు
అదే అంటే మేము మీడియా వాళ్ళమే కదా
మీడియా కరెక్ట్
ఐడెంటిటీ కార్డు
అడుగుతుంది కదా కార్డు అడుగుతుంది కదా
ఐడెంటిటీ కార్డు అయితే ఉండదు
మనకు సంబంధం లేదు మీ సార్తో మాట్లాడు ఇప్పటిదాకా వచ్చినంతో మాట్లాడు నాకేం సంబంధం సెక్యూరిటీకి నాకు సంబంధం లేదు మీకు ఏమైనా ఐడి కార్డ్స్ ఉంటే నాకు ఇచ్చుకోమనే ఇస్తాను మీరు ఎవరితో మాట్లాడమంటారు చెప్పి వాళ్ళతో వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడతారు మీ విజిటింగ్ కార్డ్స్ ఏమైనా ఇచ్చుకోమని మీకు చెప్పింది కదా, మళ్ళీ అదే వేయండి. నాయన మీకు చెప్పాక నువ్వేం చేస్తున్నావు బాబా?
అదైతే కరెక్ట్. ఇక మళ్ళీ నీ మీదకి వస్తుంది.
మాకు అట్లా అలవ్ లేదు, మేము చిన్నోళ్ళకే చెప్తాం.
రాజు సార్ మెయిన్ సార్
రాలే లెవెల్ ఉన్నాడు, వాళ్ళకి ఇప్పుడు అలవ్ లేదు. వాళ్ళు ఏంది కదా వీళ్ళకి అనుకున్నాకనే వాళ్ళకి ఎటు పోతుంది. వాళ్ళు చూసుకుంటారు, మీరు విజిటింగ్ కార్డ్ ఆయన చూసుకొని ఆయన మాట్లాడుకుంటారు. వాళ్ళు రారు, ఫోన్ల నుంచే మాట్లాడుకుంటారు.
All right, so that's the conversation that was had by my reporter with the security guard who was guarding the apartment and where the office of Co-Amt Edutech is located in Hyderabad. It is being told by the security guard to my reporter that the owner, the director of the company is not present. He has not been coming to the office for the past several days, raising questions about the man's whereabouts amidst this controversy that has blown out of proportion. All right, joining me on the telecast is Sanvi Sharma. She is a student from Delhi. And Sanvi, let's hear it from you with regards to what were the issues that you faced when your answer sheets were being evaluated through this online digital evaluation system called OSM. And did you raise concerns with your teachers?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the answers which I wrote, which were correct, वो मैम गलत करे हुए थे. एंड जहाँ मेरे आंसर सही हैं, वहाँ पे एक आंसर मेरी एंट्री सही है एंड वो सीन करके उसको मार्क्स नहीं दिए हुए. जहाँ पे मेरे मार्क्स फुल बन रहे हैं आंसर की के अकॉर्डिंग, वहाँ पे भी मेरे को हाफ 1 या 1.5 मैक्स दिए हुए हैं. एंड अकाउंट इकोनॉमिक्स में भी मेरी कैलकुलेशन में एरर है कि 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 4.5 होते हैं, बट उसमें मेरे को 3 दिए हुए हैं.
तो आपको क्या लगता है ये इतने सारे डिस्क्रिपेंसीज क्यों हुए हैं? क्या टीचर्स की फॉल्ट है? क्या ये जो नया डिजिटल इवैल्यूएशन सिस्टम है, ऑन स्क्रीन मार्किंग, इसके कारण ये सब डिस्क्रिपेंसीज आई हैं?
मैम ऑन स्क्रीन मार्किंग की वजह से इश्यूज आए, क्योंकि अगर ऑफलाइन मार्क्स होंगे तो ऑफलाइन में मेरे मार्क्स डेफिनेटली इससे ज्यादा आएंगे.
राइट. आपके जैसे कितने सारे आपके फ्रेंड्स हैं, आपके क्लासमेट्स हैं जिन्होंने,
जितने भी बच्चों के साथ ये गलत हुआ है, हम सबके मार्क्स ज्यादा आएंगे. जो भी बच्चों के साथ गलत हुआ है, इतने सारे बच्चे हैं, सबके साथ जिनके साथ गलत हुआ, उन सबके मार्क्स बढ़ेंगे.
आपके क्लास में कितने स्टूडेंट्स हैं और आपके उन सारे स्टूडेंट्स में से कितने परसेंटेज या कितने नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स हैं जिनको ये प्रॉब्लम फेस करना पड़ा है?
मैम एक्चुअली आई एम नॉट दैट एक्सट्रोवर्ट. आई डोंट हैव मेनी फ्रेंड्स एंड पर्सनली माय फ्रेंड्स डिड नॉट अप्लाई फॉर द रीवैल्यूएशन. क्या आपने रीवैल्यूएशन के लिए अप्लाई किया है? यस मैम, अभी पोर्टल ओपन नहीं हुआ जिसके लिए अप्लाई. आंसर शीट्स आई हैव गॉट माय आंसर शीट्स, बट पोर्टल ओपन नहीं हो रहा, पोर्टल पे कनेक्ट नहीं हो पा रहा.
आपने अपने टीचर्स, फैकल्टी, प्रिंसिपल को इसके बारे में कंप्लेंट किया?
एक्चुअली अभी नहीं मैम,
अब
बट आई विल.
अब आप क्या एक्सपेक्ट करें, क्योंकि अभी आपके रिजल्ट्स आने थे, रिजल्ट्स आ गए हैं, गलत रिजल्ट्स आए हैं. अब रीवैल्यूएशन का प्रोसेस पता नहीं कब खत्म होगा, क्योंकि अभी तक तो आप पोर्टल के ऊपर भी अपनी कंप्लेंट्स रेज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. तो इससे आपको लगता है फर्क पड़ेगा आपके जो फ्यूचर में आप कौन से कॉलेजेस में अप्लाई करना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि उनकी डेट्स भी फिक्स्ड होती हैं?
यस मैम, इससे काफी इफेक्ट पड़ेगा, क्योंकि जो मेरे को कॉलेज चाहिए उसमें मेरे को नहीं मिल पाएगा एंड काफी बच्चों को नहीं मिल पाएगा इस चीज की वजह से.
एक बात मुझे बताइए कि आपको इस बारे में पता है, ये जो Co-Amt Edutech है, Co-Amt Edutech वो कंपनी है, डिजिटल कंपनी है जिसने ये OSM सॉफ्टवेयर बनाया है. ये कंट्रोवर्सी रेज हुई है कि ये जो टेंडर प्रोसेस था, CBSE का टेंडर प्रोसेस था, जिसके कारण Co-Amt को ये टेंडर मिला, जिसके कारण इन्होंने ये सॉफ्टवेयर बनाया. इसमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स थी, इसमें उनको क्वालिफाई करने के लिए कुछ सब्सिडीज दी गई थी. उनको काफ़ी सारे ट्वीक्स और रिविजन्स हुए थे इन क्वालिफिकेशन क्राइटेरिया में, जिसके कारण Co-Amt Edutech को फाइनली ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मिला. आप एक स्टूडेंट है, उन्होंने इसके बारे में काफ़ी सारी इन्वेस्टिगेशन की और इस नतीजे पर पहुंचे। आपको इस बारे में कुछ पता है?
I'm sorry, I don't know much about that.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Sunny, and wishing you all the best. I hope the portal opens up and you are able to register your complaint, and time is saved, which is very valuable at this juncture, because only dependent on your class 12 exams will you be able to qualify for the college that you are desiring yourself to be studying in. I'm also being joined by another student. Let me get her also into this conversation. I'm being told that. Okay, I have Astha Dubey. Astha Dubey is a student as well. Astha, which part of India do you live in?
I live in Delhi actually.
Okay, so Astha, let's hear it from you. What kind of discrepancies did you face when you saw your result, and have you gotten access to your answer sheet now?
I didn't apply for my answer sheets because the 75% criteria, as I had taken the science stream, was being fulfilled. That is required by most of the colleges. But at the same time, I feel like in some subjects my marks were not given appropriately, even on doing a lot and give it all. Even the best exams that I had thought that in this subject I have had given my best, it felt like the checking was not done properly, or the OSM checking had some discrepancies. So that's why I'm not happy about it, and I didn't really apply for it either. But let me also tell you about the other students who reapplied for it, their answer sheets to get check-in. And so while I was giving my CUT exams, I talked with other students who had applied for getting the answer sheets, and now they are going to get them
in your class?
reevaluated.
How many students constitute your class in your school, and how many students face these discrepancies, and how many students have sought for re-evaluation?
Right. I have not talked to everybody actually. Neither we are given news about who is applying in our class overall. So yeah, but some of my friends did, and they faced irregularities. And yeah, there were some also that were very happy about the checking. So I guess only few got cheated by the system or so.
Okay. All right, Rasta. I want to know, you said that, because you were able to garner more than 75%, and which is enough to get admission in your college of choice.
Yeah.
So you did not pursue the process of getting your answer sheet re-evaluated. Do you not feel that just to satisfy yourself and reassure yourself that you should actually take the step of getting your answer sheet re-evaluated nonetheless?
Yeah. For my parents, if I think I should do, but for not for satisfying myself, because I know in what subjects I did better, and in some subjects I did get proper marks, but yeah, in some there was like bad checking, and I did like it affected my confidence at first. And so of my parents that in 10th you had got so much, got like 90 above, and now I'm getting like 80. So they were also like, why did you take PCM then? And so many questions were raised. So just this type of marking just not raises questions about the NTA, but on the child's like academic performance, the ability. So yeah, that is.
All right, Rasta, thank you very much for joining me and sharing your experience and the experience of some of your friends who you interacted with, who have faced this blatant issue. All right, I'm also being joined by Dr. Poonam Fogart. She is a career counselor. Dr. Fogart, let's hear it from you with regards to this controversy that has obviously raised eyebrows and has become a national embarrassment. The fact that the director of this private company called Co-Amt Edutech that was behind this software, the on-screen marking system that was used to evaluate the students' answer sheets in the CBSE examinations that were held. The director is absconding, and as per an investigation that was done by a student, there have been a lot of discrepancies in terms of the revisions that were made, tweaks that were made to allow for the contract to be handed over to Co-Amt. What do you make of all of this?
So basically, the procedure that we follow for any kind of tendering, giving tenders, is through the main portal that the government has opened. Don't remember the name right now. So basically, through that portal only. So if there have been tweaks, if this is just an indication, this is a tip of the iceberg, which shows that there is mass corruption again in the system. In spite of the fact that the government tries a lot of efforts, makes so many efforts to go away with corruption, people who are corrupt, people who want to do corruption, they end up finding ways to do it. So the government should have ensured that our system should have been foolproof so that we do not have such kind of mishaps. OSM as such, I don't think is a problem. OSM is a good step. It is where people can sit at homes or sit in their own, I mean, maybe the schools, the centers which are there for checking, so that there is time which is saved in terms of, taking the copies and all those kind of logistics which are involved. So in that sense, it's a good system. But when you're launching a system, so you should have made sure that the system check-ins are there, and these kind of mishaps in such a crucial organization which has the responsibility of shaping the careers of so many students, that should not have happened. So this is very sad situation. And also one more thing, when Prime Minister can come and talk and say Man Ki Baat and make students listen to that also, then why can't he just come and tweet or say something about this issue also, that he also feels for it, or if he has any take on that. I think there should be a comment on this also from the Prime Minister also.
Okay, Pavan Tugal also on the telecast with me. Mr. Tugal, you saw that report that was filed by my colleague in Hyderabad, where he has gone, tried to visit the office of Co-Amt Edutech. He is encountered, he is confronted by the security guard who tells him that the director has not been seen in the premises for the last one entire week, ever since this controversy exploded. Do you think there has been corruption that has taken place in a bid to hand over this contract to a company that was substandard, was not up to the standards, and therefore this fiasco that has emerged becomes a national embarrassment?
Look, as a lawyer, I can't really comment on whether any corruption has taken place because there's no documents in front of me to comment on the same. But yes, one thing is apparently very clear: the norms don't seem to have been followed. Well, if you are a vendor, you're supposed to put in your reasonable security practices. That's the minimum requirement that the Information Technology Act has of you in your capacity as an intermediary, in your capacity to go ahead and be exercising due diligence while you discharge your obligations under the law. But clearly, those parameters have not been complied with. Further, there is no proof of the fact as to how the said so-called vendor or an intermediary has complied with the reasonable security safeguards under the parameters of the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. So it appears to be a shoddy work done for whatever reasons, but the reality is it's put an institution to shame. It's put the nation to a huge level of embarrassment that could have been purely avoidable. Why? Because you see, India is not just a normal country. India is the biggest democracy in the world. India is the most populous nation in the world. So in this context, if we have this kind of an embarrassment, it's like an egg on the face for the nation, which doesn't augur well for our global reputation, our global standing as a leader of norms, as a entity, as a nation state which is a natural leader of the global south. So clearly, this has to be a wake-up call. First, just some salutary cosmetic action will not suffice. You will have to go and dive deeper to find out what were the systemic problems. Why did this happen? Did the RFP have those parameters? Were they appropriately evaluated for cybersecurity readiness or compliance? If so, what was the specific findings in that regard?
Okay.
All that will have to be gone into, and then only appropriate responsibility can be said. You just can't hang one entity and say, guys, that's okay, that's a bad dream, let's start afresh. Sorry, it's not a bad dream. It is a huge impact upon the mental and psychological capabilities of students, apart from putting them in constant element of fear and panic. I think it's time that this has to be now dealt with at an institutional level. The very fact that no FIR has been registered, no criminal case has been registered, is only going to show how likely as a nation we are dealing with this. I think we need to come down with a strong hand and appropriately come up with a responsibility allocation and then take it to its logical conclusions.
Manasvi Thapar, let's quickly, getting you into the conversation as well with regards to, there has been a precedent that had been set. There had been anomalies when it came to Co-Amt Edutech not being able to perform to its optimum capabilities in providing the services. This is with regards to 2019 Telangana board examinations where something similar had happened. And then if you take a look at the investigation that has been done by the student, it goes on to say that in the second and the third versions of the tender, there was removal of the clause that disqualifies companies with history of abandoning projects or failing to complete contracts. And the second such clause that was removed was the provision of barring blacklisted earlier companies was revised to companies that were currently blacklisted. This helped Co-Amt Edutech because Co-Amt Edutech, the previous name of Co-Amt Edutech was Globarena Tech. It was changed to Co-Amt Edutech after the Telangana controversy happened. So there's more than what meets the eye here.
100%, there is no doubt about it, and I feel it is completely the department is at fault, and Co-Amt got this tender which naturally was not their tender, and also in the first round of bidding or in the first round when the tender was kept, and accordingly immediately it was vanished from the GEM portal, and then again the second round of tender being floated was done, in which four companies basically bid, and all the major companies failed except Co-Amt, this particular company. TCS also failed in terms of technical grounds. While this company was selected, this company was awarded this tender, and also the rules of this tender was changed to make sure that COMT wins this particular tender in August 2025. So the turnover requirement, which was higher threshold, only large companies like TCS would qualify. That was reduced. So these were changes which were made, and it was shown that TCS quoted a larger amount, while this quoted around 24 rupees, while TCS quoted around three times the rate, which was around 65 to 66 per answer sheet. So these things basically shows the kind of conduct, while the while TCS has been known, apart from the work which they do, they have been known for checking papers across the world, while they could not check the papers for their own country because of the higher quotation. And there were multiple clauses which were changed just to benefit Co-Amt. And then now what we see is the track record has been abysmal for this particular company. The kind of student suffering, the kind of embarrassment our country is having, the kind of stuff the young students, the youngsters of our nation has to go through, while they don't have any clarity. They don't know when the portal will open up. They don't know what is going to happen, and I don't know what is going to happen with this company. Is it blacklisted? No. FIR registered? No. So many students, so many parents are worried as of now.
We're talking about the company, but who's talking about the people who were involved in handing the tender, who were involved in actually easing the norms and the clauses to allow for Edutech to be picked as the preferred company to be handed over the contract?
Megha, the biggest question which will come to both of our minds would be that this is not a one-person show. This is the entire ministry, the entire department, and everyone involved. Only then a non-qualifying company gets this tender, and they get the right uh, to abuse the lives, the future of our students, our children. So that is what has happened,
Yeah.
and this is not anyone's any babu's diktat. It's an entire ministry which is involved. It's an entire department which is involved. IAS officers would be involved in it. Ministry would be involved in it. Only then such kind of clauses would be reduced to such a level that any kind of a company would come and get this tender. And further, uh, there are multiple questions. How did the first tender got vanished from the GEM portal? That was the biggest turning point, and then the clauses got reduced to favor Co-Amt. So this is not something which would have been done without any quid pro quo. This is not something which, I'm a lawyer. I'm saying it that this has affected the lives of millions of our students and parents. What is their fault? Just because someone would get some benefit somewhere, that is a point of investigation which would happen. As Poonam just said, that Prime Minister have spoken to students before exams. But what about after exams? They need a shoulder. They need someone to talk to. They need a Twitter tweet. They need something from the Prime Minister. The Education Minister should come out and
Okay.
open and speak to the students, if not directly, indirectly. If they can't do a press conference, they can actually come out on a tweet, on a social media and speak something. Some kind of kindness has to come from the ministry level.
Yeah,
Some
okay.
kind of kindness has to come from the government. And it is sad that this kind of that जो होता है देख लेंगे सब कुछ चले जाएगा. This attitude is wrong for our own kids.
Dr. Anand Mani, let's hear it from you with regards to, this is blown out of proportion and rightfully so. We are still to hear from our Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. He did mention that there is going to be a portal that is going to allow the students to put in their requests for re-evaluation of their answer sheets. That portal is not working any longer. I don't know, there is no response from the Education Ministry. You just left the students high and dry.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem right now that would emerge for specifically students who are appearing for their NEET and JEE exams, the minimum criteria for passing the JEE exam, just to get admission, even a student who has qualified the JEE advanced exam, is 75% marks. A lot of students I know who would be in the top 100, top 1000 rank will not be getting this mark in their CBSE exam. And because of that, their dream of getting into their IIT will be banished, and the nation suffers at this. Matlab, a top mind of the country will not be able to pursue his dream college. So definitely the CBSE needs to do something on this. And my point being that also regarding the OSM portal, when you are doing such an experiment, you should not do it on a nationwide level where the stakes of these students who are at the verge of their crossroads, who have to choose their career path, should be affected. It should have been done on a very lower level firstly, and then it should have been implemented on such a large scale. You cannot experiment on kids. We are not guinea pigs. So this has to be taken into account before.
Right, absolutely. I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast and sharing your perspectives. We'll keep a close eye on all that is happening in this on this matter, and of course the students are suffering, whether we talk about NEET or we talk about the CBSE OSM fiasco. We'll keep a close eye, like I said, but on that note, I slip into a short break. Thanks for watching.